President Trump and North Korean dictator Kim Jong Un shook hands during a historic meeting Sunday at the demilitarized zone that divides the Korean peninsula. Trump crossed the narrow no-man's land on foot from South Korea and into North Korea, where Kim stepped forward to greet him. The two then shared a brief handshake as a gesture of peace at the most heavily fortified border in the world. No U.S. president had ever before set foot in North Korea since the peninsula was split after World War II. Big progress, tremendous progress, Trump declared, as he stood to Kim's left, both facing the cameras. This is a historic moment, Kim agreed through a translator, calling the visit a very courageous and historic act. Trump responded, "A lot of really positive things are happening, tremendously positive. We met and we liked each other from day one, and that was very important." The two leaders then left for a negotiating room at Freedom House on the south side of the border. "I enjoy being with you, and thank you very much," Trump said as the two leaders sat side by side there, and then shared another handshake. The visit to the DMZ had been set up weeks ago, as part of a pre-planned visit to South Korea and U.S. service members stationed there, but the meeting with Kim was set up in just 2 days, after Trump broached the idea in a tweet on Friday. The meeting is the third between the two leaders in just over a year, and the first since February, when their summit in Vietnam imploded without an agreement from Kim on denuclearization. Since then, the two countries have experienced a tense impasse, with Trump continuing to insist that the North get rid of its nuclear missiles and stop building new ones before economic sanctions are lifted. Kim, meanwhile, resumed missile tests and continued producing nuclear fuel, flouting a ban and unsettling his neighbors. Still, the two leaders exchanged warm letters in the past month, with Trump calling his, from Kim, beautiful, and Kim calling his, from Trump, excellent. Speaking on Friday and Saturday, the president had kept expectations for Sunday's handshake low. It would be a quick hello, he told reporters at one point, soon after landing in South Korea. They'd meet for 2 minutes, he said. "It's just a step," Trump said later Sunday, at a press conference in Seoul held shortly before Trump headed some 30 miles north to the border by Marine One, the presidential helicopter. "It might be an important step or it might not," he said. "There's a good feeling, so it could be very good. As far as another meeting, let's see what happens today before we start thinking about that." But South Korean leader, Moon Jae-in, who stood at Trump's side, praised the prospect of contact and the hope for future peace it presages. "The two leaders will make handshakes for peace," Moon said through a translator. "I hope that President Trump will go down in history as the president who brought peace to the Korean peninsula," Moon said. Turning then to Trump, Moon called the meeting a milestone for humankind, adding, "You really are the peacemaker on the Korean peninsula." The meeting with Kim was preceded by Trump and Moon climbing onto an observation platform on the southern side, something U.S. presidents, including President Clinton, have done previously. "It's been extremely peaceful. It's a whole different world," Trump said as he looked out over North Korea, while waiting for Kim to arrive. "So much was accomplished," he said of his diplomatic efforts. "There was great conflict here prior to our first meeting in Singapore in 2018, he said. After our first summit, all of the danger went away. It's all working out. It always works out." Trump next greeted some of the more than 20,000 U.S. service members stationed in South Korea. "Look at how healthy and how strong and how good," he said, gesturing toward the troops. Trump had first heralded the meeting, as is his habit, in a tweet, from the G20 summit in Osaka, Japan. "After some very important meetings, including my meeting with President Xi of China, I will be leaving Japan for South Korea with President Moon," he had tweeted Friday night. While there, "If Chairman Kim of North Korea sees this, I would meet him at the border DMZ just to shake his hand and say hello." He then joked during a Saturday press conference that Kim had responded quickly. "He follows my Twitter," Trump said of the North Korean leader. "I guess so, because he called back very quickly. A lot of people follow it," he told reporters with a smile.